Minnesota's newborn screening program is the model for the nation.
But now Mayo Clinic and the March of Dimes are fighting hard to defend it at the state capitol. As KARE 11's John Croman reports, lawmakers are considering a bill that would make it an opt-in system instead of the current opt-out.
A 4-year-old Hugo boy named Ryan Jensen kept himself occupied today in St. Paul while the grown-ups argued about the system that detected he had a life-threatening metabolic disorder.
And we found out that he had this through newborn screening. It saved his life because he was 5 days old and he was going into a coma.
Parents of newborns under current law can opt out of routine testing, but a bill pending would make it an opt-in system instead, and would dictate that the samples collected from babies' heels, those blood spots, and the test results be destroyed after 2 years.
I don't have a problem with keeping the blood spots. It's not something that I am concerned about because I would rather save thousands of children's lives.
It's not about newborn screening, it's about who makes decisions about genetic material.
Senator David Hann of Eden Prairie, who authored the bill, says he's worried that the blood cards collected from babies will go to research that their families don't support.
This is really about who gets to make the decisions about that material and whether or not it should be kept by the state of Minnesota and indirectly by other entities for research purposes.
There's a lot of people who don't want to know what's in their DNA, and they have a right not to know what their DNA says, and they certainly have a right to make sure other people don't see what their DNA says.
These samples are incredibly protected. They aren't distributed, given out.
Pediatricians, researchers, and families entered the political arena, a news conference, to fight for the newborn screening program.
The key here is that if we test and we keep testing for more things, we protect more lives rather than compromise lives.
Dr. Simmons and others say it's important to keep those records and samples for more than 2 years so the doctors can go back and talk to families if they're trying to consider having another baby, or in fact, if the child starts having other symptoms later in life, they can reference those results and those blood spots. The state health department is also against destroying the records because they say that would put Minnesota out of compliance with federal laboratory standards, which would open up a host of other issues. Now, the privacy advocate you saw in our story, TWILA BRASE, she's been trying to get this done for years here, but now that there's a Republican majority, her idea has picked up some momentum, and it's in the final form of the health bill that's pending here at the Capitol. Back to you.
Thank you, John.